Now, boys and girls, you are going to need your pencil, and if you have your lined paper, that's what you will need to use. If you don't have the lined paper with the 3 lines like you see on your screen, then you can use your journal. But if you have the paper that looks like this would be the best option because we're going to practice our handwriting. So go ahead and pause the video and get those things, and when you're ready, click play. Okay. So the first letter we're going to practice is our lowercase o. And so right now I just want you to listen and watch. I'll let you know when I'm ready for you to pick up your pencil and practice with me. Okay. So I'm going to touch below the midline, and I'm going to circle back left all the way around. Okay, so watch and listen again. I'm going to touch below the midline. I'm going to circle back left all the way around. Okay, listen one more time. Touch below the midline, circle back left, all the way around. And you want to make sure you're touching that midline and your baseline. Mine, I'm using my mouse, so I'm having a hard time controlling it, but when you're doing it, go ahead and do your best to touch the midline and your baseline. Okay, so go ahead and pick up your pencil, and let's go ahead and do it together. Okay, so touch below your midline. Remember, this is your headline, this is your midline, and this is your baseline. So you're going to touch below the midline, circle back left, all the way around. Go put some space. Let's try it again. Touch below the midline, circle back left, all the way around. Put some space. Touch below the midline, circle back left, all the way around. Let's do one more together. Touch below the midline, circle back left, all the way around. Okay, so I want you to go down to your next line, and I would like you to do 6 more lowercase o's. And as you're doing them, I want you to be saying the directions to yourself. I'm going to also do 6 more so you can follow along with me, but we're going to do 6 more lowercase o's. Touch below the midline, circle back left, all the way around. Touch below the midline, circle back left, all the way around. Touch below the midline, circle back left, all the way around. Touch below the midline, circle back left, all the way around. Touch below the midline, circle back left, all the way around. Touch below the midline, circle back left, all the way around. Touch below the midline, circle back left, all the way around. Now look at your lowercase o's and see if you can find which one of yours looks the best. So when I'm looking to see that it's touching the midline and resting on the baseline. So if I'm looking at mine, I think my best ones would probably be this one right here, because it is touching the midline and it's resting on the baseline. So look and see if you can find your lowercase o that you think is the best, and you can circle it. And then we're going to practice one more letter. So go ahead and put your pencil down. And I just want you to listen. We're going to practice a lowercase e. And remember, this is your headline, your midline, and your baseline. So put your pencil down, make sure you're just listening. So for my lowercase e, I'm going to touch halfway between the midline and the baseline. So I'm going to touch about right here. And I'm going to slide to the right. And then I'm going to circle back left, ending above the baseline to make my lowercase e. The e is kind of tough, so really listen and watch. Don't do it yet. I'm touching halfway between the midline and the baseline. If I touch too high or too low, my e is going to look funny. So I'm going to try and find halfway between the midline and the baseline and touch. I'm going to slide to the right, and then I'm going to circle back left, just kind of like we did with the o, but I'm not going all the way around. I'm ending above the baseline. Okay, so listen again. Touch halfway between the midline and the baseline. Slide right. Circle back around, ending above the baseline. Okay, go ahead and pick up your pencil. Let's try together. Touch halfway between the midline and the baseline. Slide to the right. Circle back left, all the way around, ending above the baseline. Okay. Touch halfway between the midline and the baseline. Slide right. Circle back around, ending above the baseline. Okay. Touch below, halfway between the midline and the baseline. Slide to your right. Circle back around, ending above the baseline. So that's your lowercase e. So go ahead, we're going to try about 6 more down here on the line that I have here. This is my last line, but you probably have more lines on your paper. So just go down to your next line. Okay, and go ahead and touch below the midline and halfway between the midline and the baseline. Slide to your right, circle back around, ending above the baseline. Touch halfway between the midline and the baseline. Slide right, curve back around, ending above the baseline. Touch halfway between the midline and the baseline. Slide right, curve back around, ending above the baseline. Touch halfway between, slide right, curve back around, ending above the baseline. Let's go ahead and do 2 more. Touch halfway between, slide right, circle back around, ending above the baseline. Touch halfway between the midline and the baseline, slide right, curve back around, ending above the baseline. Okay, so go ahead and look at your E's again now and see which one you think looks the best. If you notice, it should be touching the midline and resting on your baseline. So look at yours and see if you can find the one that you think you did the best on. I think for me, when I look at mine, I'm going to pick, I think, this one right here, because when I look at it, it is touching the midline and it's resting nicely on the baseline. Okay, so if you have extra time and you want to continue practicing your O's and your E's, you can go ahead and do that if you'd like.